Happy Facebook Live time. Welcome to Melissa's Crafting Treehouse and to my episode of Treehouse TV. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. It's been a beautiful spring day here. Sunny and for a change and just beautiful. I've got some fun in store for you today, announcements and two fun projects featuring the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle, a giveaway, which I will announce, and yeah, lots of fun. I see people joining in. Hi, Kathy, welcome. So before I get into the meat of it, I have a question for you. It's a strange question, but some time back, I will not say how long, I mentioned something that I did that was a mistake, right? So I actually cut my my fingernail with my guillotine cutter. Okay, word to the wise: never look away when you're using a guillotine cutter. So my question to all of you, this is my guess. This is my question. I want you to take a guess, and maybe you actually know. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, MJ. Hi, Linda. How long does it take for a fingernail to actually grow all the way out when you've sliced down the middle of it? Just a guess. I'm actually very surprised at how long it's taken. So maybe you know, and I'm sure it's different for different people, you know, based upon your own personal makeup, but just comment and let me know what you think. I see people are joining in saying where they're from. Yay. Hi, Nancy from New Jersey and Elizabeth from Georgia. Yay. Thank you so much for being here. So again, question of the day: how long does it take a nail to grow out? Just a regular old fingernail. I will answer the question in a little bit. Hopefully I'm not going to forget. All right, so to jump right in, I want to start with just a shout out to those of you who participated in my fun with playing with rubbing alcohol technique class. It was this past Friday. Hi, Deborah. Deborah was there. Hi, Deborah. I'm so happy. What I wanted to do was just say thank you, like so much, because we did this event in a combination of Zoom stream to a Facebook group. And I was just so grateful because several people participated via Zoom, and it was like we were in the same room. It was so much fun. And the real gift to me is that those of you who were willing, let me see your faces. Like, I got to actually meet people that I've been interacting with online through Facebook or email for quite some time. And it was just a real treat. I felt like I had a bunch of new friends, because it's different when you can see someone's face. So that's just to say, if you participate in one of my technique classes in the future, I hope you will do it on Zoom with me and participate in that way. There were people on Facebook watching, and I kind of felt sort of bad, like they were kind of out of the in group. So I want people to join the party. The real party is on Zoom, just because I can't pay attention to both so easily. It's really difficult to do that. I did go back and comment, of course, after the fact, but there's nothing like sort of feeling like you're in the same room with people, even though it's virtual room. But it was just a blast. So thank you to those of you who participated, all of you who participated, but especially those who participated on Zoom and allowed me to see your beautiful faces. Okay, so that's it for that. So before I forget, I have not seen any comments on how long you think it takes for a fingernail to grow out, but I have a feeling maybe nobody really knows or cares. So I'm just going to tell you, I did this thing to my finger, and I hate showing gross things, but it's finally almost grown out. It's like barely. And it was good on Facebook. Oh, good. I'm glad it was good for you on Facebook. I don't want anybody to feel left out or feel invisible. So, just saying, if you watch the replay, of course, you have no choice. But anyway, I'm so glad it was good on Facebook. Yay. All right. So anyway, the fingernail thing. This happened like the second week in January, and here we are the first week in March. So 2 months, and it's not totally grown out. Oh, so Wendy, you guessed March, 3 months. And who else said 4 to 5 months? Well, it could be. My husband actually got an owie on one of his fingers. It was actually a bruise under the nail, and his is taking even longer to grow out. It's like still a big bruise on his finger. We've got an epidemic in the house of hurting our fingers. Anyway, that will never happen again, because I am never going to look away again when I'm working with my guillotine cutter. A very bad thing to do. What is that? A cautionary tale? So anyway, Moving right along. So, one thing I wanted to mention, and I don't know if this is something I just recently learned about Facebook, is that Facebook now has the option to subscribe to a Facebook page. Specifically, I think it's for getting notifications of live events. It's different from notifications, so you can turn on your notifications if you're following somebody. But apparently, you should see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen a little bell. And if you tap on that bell while the live video is happening, so it has to happen while the live video is happening, you will get a notification, I guess, more proactively than if you just have notifications turned on. So if somebody could let me know, do you see that bell in the upper right hand corner? The bell has to be filled in if you've selected it. And if you've selected it, then I'm assuming, of course, you would like to subscribe if you watch my Facebook Lives on a regular basis. I know some people sometimes have a hard time finding them, or it takes a while for them to show up in the feed. So just word to the wise, click that bell and it will be easier to find the lives. All right, what else? You guys may be aware that the Butterfly Bouquet Suite is now live. This is it's a early release, some of the products from the annual catalog. It features this gorgeous stamp set and these amazing dies. And with a significant amount of effort, I got them all to fit on my one magnetic sheet. This is a Stamp and Storage magnetic sheet that I use. As you can see, it's packed, but there's one butterfly that won't fit. Anyway, they're just gorgeous dies, and they're also so the dies in the stamp set are going to be in the new annual catalog. Comes out May 4th. I'm pretty sure I got that date right. But there's some other products that are part of the suite that are limited time available, and I've talked about this just a little bit. These designer papers, beautiful designer papers with these gorgeous patterns. Can I turn this around? The really most beautiful patterns. So you can see this instead of me. You don't need to see me. Are these beautiful butterflies. I just love it. Maybe you have seen it. But that is a limited time available offer. So while supplies last, or until May 3rd. So before the catalog goes live. And then this gorgeous wood grain paper, which if you look at it real close up, it actually looks like it's dry embossed almost, like it has real texture to it. It's beautiful. Anyway, so those are now available to purchase to customers, and that started as of March 2nd. Me and my team of Makers Mojo Creative Escape fellow demonstrators, we're designing a class that is a butterfly bouquet stamp camp. So what that means is it's going to be 12 projects. We're each designing 4 of them, and we'll have the option to get a kit with the class. So all the stuff will be cut for you. It does require the purchase of the butterfly bouquet bundle. That will not be included in the class, but you can get it as an add-on. And I'm just kind of giving you the little 2-cent tour of this class, but I'm super excited about it. There's going to be some fun folds in the mix. 2 out of 3 of us, I think, have designed our projects for the most part. Okay, so you did the bell a while back. Okay, so you're seeing the bell. I thought I saw someone say they didn't see the bell. You're still not getting notifications. Well, that just stinks. I'm so sorry to hear that, Elizabeth. I'm going to have to investigate into it a little bit more. I don't see the bell because, of course, this is my video, but I might have to pay attention when I see somebody else's and try to figure out what's going on with the bell. You may have to also turn on your notifications. I'm not sure. It didn't sound like it from the stuff that I read, but anyway. Alrighty, so there will be more details about the Butterfly Bouquet Stamp Camp coming next week. So just stay tuned. Next Wednesday, I'll have more information in my newsletter, and then I'll announce it here in my Facebook Live. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, so next up, last week we had a winner of one of the cards that I made. I announced it here in my Facebook page, but I will say it again. Sue Tyler was the winner of that card, which I have sent to her in the mail. So yay, Sue, congratulations. And we will have a prize today as well. So I'll get to that in just a second. So now today's projects are a sneak peek into the March Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. Let's see. And if you are not familiar with what that tutorial bundle is, I team up with 11 other fellow demonstrators. We each design a project, and we put together this bundle of projects around a certain theme. So this month, the theme is the Hydrangea Hill product suite. And so my projects today are going to feature those products. You can get that tutorial bundle free when you place a $35 order in my online store. That's automatic. You automatically get that in an email. Or if you're a team member, you automatically get that free every month from me. And let's see. And then my prize today, guess what? Guess what I decided to give away? Why not, right? I am going to give away a Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. In fact, let's see. So the way that you get entered into the drawing, and I see Robin already knows, tag somebody in your post. Robin just tagged somebody. Share this Facebook Live video in your feed or with whoever you want. And if you're on YouTube, you can let me know that you shared it either on Facebook, if you shared the video to Facebook, or to Pinterest or Instagram, or any other social media place that you want. So you just let me know. And I will be drawing the winner beginning of next week. So I will be giving away 3 of those Simple Sweet Stamper tutorial bundles. Includes, again, 12 tutorials to make 12 different projects. So super fun. So share, share, share. I have 3 to give away, so you should, share a lot. So I want to have, lots of people who are eligible to get those one of those 3 tutorial bundles. So I will be emailing you. I will do a tag here in the group and ask you for your email address so I can send it to you. All right. So let's get started with the project. So I see people have commented on the bell. I'm going to have to go watch back and look at what you've all said about that, because I think there's mixed information about whether the bell is working or not. I think I have to subscribe to somebody and see if it works for me. All right. So this month, as I said, the theme for Simple Sweet Stampers was the Hydrangea Hill product suite, and we had a certain color scheme we were supposed to use. And it's the color scheme of the designer paper, and some of my favorite colors, Rococo Rose, Highland Heather, Seaside Spray, Misty Moonlight, and Old Olive. I did not use all of them in my projects, but I used several of them. So these are just some of the designer papers. This paper is so gorgeous. My project is super simple today, and actually the other one is too, although it's a lot more time consuming than mine, I should say. So I'm going to turn the camera down, and we're going to get started. All right, so there are my Hydrangea Hill, my Hydrangea dies, and the Hydrangea Haven stamp set. So that's the bundle, and of course it has the coordinating designer paper, and there's some purple ribbon that goes with it as well. I did not use that ribbon in today's project, but I have another beautiful ribbon that I did use that I'm excited to share. So now this first project, I'm going to be doing some stamping and some die cutting, and using these 2 products. And I'm also using my rectangle stitch dies, one of my go-tos, must-haves. So what we're going to start with is my little baggie of goodies here. Now I have done my stamping and some of my coloring ahead of time. Again, because this kind of thing takes a long time to color. Okay, so you see this flower. I've stamped and die cut. I've only got a small portion of it stamped there. I did full images for my other ones. I'll show you that in just a bit. But I'm going to do some basic coloring with my markers. Now this is my redo of Gloria, Gloria Puckett. Gloria Puckett is one of the design team members. Her last name just momentarily slipped my mind. And she used the Seaside Spray Blends alcohol markers. I did not have those. I absolutely adore Seaside Spray, but I had to come up with an alternative, something that I had, and I do love Highland Heather, so that's what I'm using, and my Old Olive. So I'm just going to start with my light Highland Heather, and as you can see, I'm just going to do a little bit of the coloring. because it's, I would be here, like keep you here all night long if I did all the coloring. So I'm going to color the whole thing in. I'm leaving a little bit of white towards the end or the tip of each of the flowers. Another reason to do this ahead of time is just that it is actually a little bit hard to do the coloring when you're not like right over the top of it, because you can't see as well, especially something small that you're coloring. So you can see the difference there. I just have the light Hydrangea Hill there, and then I've added some dark to the center, so that's what I'm going to do next. And I'm just going to go right into the center, adding some dark. Now you'll notice that it's, you know, really dark and distinctive, right? And on the other flowers, it's much more blended and sort of a part of the whole thing. It looks like more natural. So I did a little circle in the center, and then I'm kind of drawing outwards from the center, sort of almost like a little star shape on those centers. Let's get some better light on here. Oh, that's much better. So then I'm going to come back in with my light and do my blending. So let's see if I can do this in the air reasonably so you guys can see it better. So I'm just going up against the edge where the dark is with my light color, essentially creating a third color in there. Can you guys hear music in the background? Just curious. Comment and let me know. My husband's actually playing guitar downstairs and he's singing. You probably can't because I'm mic'd, so you're probably just hearing my mic. So there you go. So now I've sort of done my blending and they all kind of look similar now, right? So I did my light all over, my dark in the center, and then went back in with my light to do that lovely blending. Oh, you don't hear music in the background. Well, it's kind of a treat, so I'm sorry you don't get to hear it. My husband plays the guitar and other instruments. All right, so there's that. Now I did 2 full-size hydrangeas. So this is the full-size shape. As you can see, I've already done my coloring on that one, but I did want to do the green as well to show you my method for doing that. I'm going to start with my brush end, the fat end, if you will. Well, it's got a fine tip, but it's more like a paintbrush because you get a lot of ink on there coming out at the same time. And for this, I'm going to color pretty much the whole thing. I can cover it a little bit faster with that tip. And then I'm going to use my fine tip to fill in around the edges. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the last one, where I'm going to come in with my dark Old Olive and really just accent where those lines are. Stampin' Up! Makes it so easy, right? All I'd have to do is sort of copy their lines to get my shading, and then on those dark lines, I'm going to come back with my light and kind of do little circles around them to add that sort of third shade of green to make it look a little bit more blended. And I have already colored down the stem and of course done the other leaves. So there is my finished flower. Don't you love magic of TV, right? It took me quite a while to color this whole thing, as I'm sure you can imagine, and of course that one. And then the card also has a third flower on it. Aren't you happy that I did it ahead of time? All right, so I'm using a plain white, basic white card base. And I am using a piece of, now I want to point out that Gloria, and I almost always have to do this with people's designs, used a different die for her background piece. So she used these Stitched with Whimsy dies, which have this, lovely, fun, whimsical edge on them. I'm just gonna bring that up to the screen. That is available in the current January to June mini catalog. But again, I didn't have that. I don't own that. So I decided to use my rectangle stitch dies, which are kind of good for like everything. And I used the biggest die to cut out a piece of white cardstock. And then I dry embossed it first, and then I die cut it with this rectangle stitch die. Now I dry embossed it first because if I had dry embossed it second, I would have sort of lost the some of the how much you could see the stitching, and the stitching is kind of subtle, so I chose to do the dry embossing first and then the die cutting second. And as you can see on the back, I've used a foam adhesive sheet just to put it all over the back, just to be simpler to attach it to my card, and then it's going to go on the front of my card. So let's get our placement of our hydrangeas. So I have actually placed this one already, and on the back side of this one I used some glue dots, and I used 2 layers of glue dots. I stacked them up to give them a little bit of height. So I wanted this flower to stand up just a bit from the dry embossed piece. Now, Gloria also did not dry emboss this piece, but I liked the added texture, and it allows the flower itself to differentiate itself from the backing, since it's all white. Now, you're probably wondering why I have this little piece in here. It is because I have the glue dots back there, and I wanted the placement so I wouldn't have to fuss with it while hanging out with you guys. But I'm going to snip off this extra leaf because I think it's going to show, and I don't want it to show, and I don't want to color it either because I don't need to. And I do want to be able to tuck it in behind. I think I'll just snip off this other leaf as well because it's just going to be hidden. So I knew I was going to need to tuck this down in, so I didn't want this flower to be tacked down quite yet. So just going to tuck that in there. Actually, I need to put some adhesive on the back side first, don't I? I'm going to use my seal, just my regular seal. And this little stem is just getting in the way, so I'm just going to trim that off too. And I want that to be the tallest or the highest of the flowers. Now, the other reason why I wanted 2 layers of glue dots in behind this flower is because I wanted you to be able to tell the difference between this layer and that layer and see that added dimension. Okay, now this final flower, I have put dimensionals on the right side because I wanted it to be higher than the other 2. And on this, believe it or not, I actually did 4 layers of glue dots because it needed to, this is up 2, and so it just, and then it needed to be the same height in the end as this, and accounting for the other paper that's here. So I hope that makes sense. So there were 4 glue dots over here to be sort of half the height of those 2 dimensionals. Now let's get some additional adhesive on the back. And now to decide. So I didn't do this finished card ahead. I just figured I would do it live. And the question though, do I need adhesive on these guys? I think I'm not going to put adhesive on those. I think I'm just going to let them kind of hang out and be at whatever height they want to be at. All right. And then just find my spot, my sweet spot. And I can just go ahead and tack it down. So there's most of the way of this card. And then the other thing I did for this is a sentiment. Gloria did do a sentiment using this many messages set of dies. And this is actually just one stamp. Okay, so I'm going to do it on my Stamparatus in part because it's just easier if I don't get something inked completely. I'll be able to ink it some more. And I am going to use my StazOn. Now, I should tell you that for these flowers, I used my Memento because I was using my blends alcohol markers. So you need to use your Memento with your blends. That's what works best with the alcohol markers. But for my sentiment, I want it to be as dark and black as it can be. And you guys know probably that I especially love my StazOn for that nice crisp black. Okay, so I got a piece of just scratch paper here. Now I played around with different sizes for this base piece to make sure that I would be able to get the full thing cut out. Okay, and I did the first one too small. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So you can use either of those two sizes and it should be fine. Leave that somewhere on camera so you guys can make a note of it. And then I'm just going to press this down, stamping all of those wonderful sentiments all at the same time. And I am putting my body weight into it, make sure I get them all. And there we go. Voila. Isn't that pretty? I don't even think I needed to re-ink it. So then the next thing I'm going to do is die cut it with the die that goes with this stamp set. And I have actually done it already, and it was supposed to be like really pretty and all like laid out for you. But I did one earlier, and I thought I would just like, oh, by the magic of TV, there it's done. So this is the die, and it goes with that set of sentiments, and you just line it up. And you actually line up where the little itty bitty hearts are. I shall show it on here since it's all one thing. So there's a heart, a star, another star, and another star. And those are sort of your, it helps you position. It's not exact, but it is a good guide to make sure that you're putting this onto your paper in just the right position. I can take this one and show you the one I just stamped. So now I have all these sentiments that are black, which is the most neutral for most cards, and I can stamp all those out, and I'll have them at the ready for whatever project that I'm working on. So I'm going to use one of these sentiments. Okay, so now here's where I want to explain why that first dimension was not good enough. Maybe I didn't share that first dimension, but I did it in such a way that it cut off. Did it cut off? Oh, look at that. It didn't actually cut off, but look how close I was. So this is a safer bet. Go with the larger dimensions. My original one, I think, was 4 3/4 by 6. But you can see it's pretty tight, especially on this left side. So I did actually get all of those, but a little bigger is better and safer. Okay, so now I get to pick my sentiment, and maybe you guys will have an opinion. Look how many choices we have. It's so fun. So let's bring my card back in. So there's my card. I might as well go ahead and put this down. Try to see it centered on the white. That's always a challenge. Oh geez, I just did you see what happened? It just like fell out of my hand. Okay, well, whatever. I guess it's going to be where it is because it's a foam adhesive sheet. So that doesn't look bad for dropping it on there, huh? Too funny. Okay, so there it is. Now I could leave it just like that. What do you guys think? Should I just leave it like that? I think it's actually really pretty. Oh, MJ, you think it's brilliant. I love that word. I love that. So what I was thinking is just something really simple. I think what Gloria used was this one, and it felt a little bit too heavy to me. The thank you ever so much, which of course is the most useful. But I thought something a little bit more kind of demure, just like, oh, happy day. What do you guys think of that? Thinking about what other ones. There's also a little hi there. Isn't that cute? Let's see what that looks like. Comment and let me know. Let's see if there's anything else that looks suitable. All the other ones are kind of big. You could be like a congratulations. I think that would be nice and sweet in there. Some of the other ones that would work are just a little bit long. Just want to say, and then of course you could put the thank you on the inside. But I think I want to go with the little demure. You like, oh, happy day? Me too. Thank you, Robin. That's all I needed. Okay, somebody else liked hi there. That's great. Okay, let's do that one. Where is, I'm going to have to use a glue dot because this sentiment is so itty bitty. Where did my glue dots go? Here, there. So yeah, it's just super simple. This is somewhat time consuming just because of all the coloring, but other than that, super easy to do. I love this cute little sentiment. How can you go wrong? Oh, happy day. There we go. Now, I could also add a couple of rhinestones or jewels. I don't know what you guys think of that idea, but, you know, and color them with my Bouquet alcohol marker. So let's see what we think of that. This is a design as you go project because I haven't figured it out ahead of time all together. So let's color a couple of these. And I'm grabbing the dark Highland Heather. Let's see what we think. And maybe I'll do one large one, two small ones. So when I do my something like this with rhinestones, I always just kind of place them out there. I don't press them down because I don't like to commit until I really know that I'm happy with the end result. I think I'm going to like that though. Now I have to look and see what you guys think. Yes, you need to put rhinestones on it. Well, thank you, Mary Beth. Again, I always love to get reinforcement for whatever the decision is. Just fun to have group participation. I don't know, placement, that kind of thing makes me crazy. I think I might need to do it like on the other side. I'll stop right there. I don't know. You guys have a better suggestion? I don't know that I like that with the kind of on 3 different places. Conflicted, man. Let's see if it looks better down here. I think that's where I want to put it. I'm going to put it like down there. Maybe? Okay, Mary Beth is perfect. I don't know whether you're perfect to the last thing I did or perfect to this thing, but I'm going to leave it right there for now. We'll call it done for the moment. Sometimes I just need to ponder and look at it for a while, set it aside. This is often what I do when I create. I don't know if you guys do that as well, but if I'm not sure, I just need to step away. And then come back to it later. So, and then of course I'll watch for your comments too. Love the bling. Oh, Chrissy, you don't like the rhinestones. Now I'm conflicted. I hate when I get different messages. Sorry. Lots of people saying they love the bling. Well, I'm just gonna like I said, I'm gonna sort of stew on it and let it be, and we'll move on to the other card, and we'll see if I change my mind later. Okay, you ready for the next card? So this next one is super easy. This is like the kind of card you can mass produce in multiple variations. I'm actually going to show you my original one. So this was my contribution to the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. Super simple. This designer paper, and we have several of them that just, you know, they stand alone. You don't need much, right? So all I did was die cut one of my stitch nested labels dies. I wanted something small and demure, something that wouldn't cover up a lot of the designer paper. Oh, I see. You do like the rhinestones. You don't like the placement. Okay, thank you, Christy, for clarifying. And then, of course, this ribbon. It's not what goes with the suite, but it is so pretty, and I've barely had a chance to use it. It is the metallic Seaside Spray ribbon, which, of course, is going away because this is one of the colors going away. The card base is also Seaside Spray, and I was just so happy to find a card that it worked perfectly on. This ribbon works perfectly. So now, here I do have something to show you with this because I'm going to show you just quickly the assembly of it and then share one little observation. So when I design, I don't know about you guys, but I often do not really pay a lot of attention or enough attention to, am I using my paper efficiently? So this piece of designer paper is 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now 3 1/4, you know, you're getting it from a 12 by 12 piece. So 3 1/4 is really a bad choice. because you're only going to get, 3 across instead of 4 across. If you use a 3, then you're going to get 4 across. So you get a lot more out of your paper if you do a narrower piece, but I really wanted it to be filled out and I didn't want to skimp on it. Now that said, I did this next version with a 3-inch piece so I could get a lot more out of my paper. Oh, you like all the sentiments all at once, Teresa? Yes, it is a wonderful thing. Having them ready is just great, especially with a black. So what I've done here is I'm doing the same basic card, but I made my designer paper piece more narrow, just the 3-inch, so I could get, instead of, let's see, it would be 4 across and 2 down, so I'd get 10 pieces from a 12 by 12 piece that I could make that many cards of this design if I wanted to, whereas it would be, what would it be, 9 if I did it the other way. So now one way to do this is the easiest way is to just take my glue dot and attach it around the back side. This ribbon has been around, I think, well, at least a year and a half or whatever since these colors first came out. And I've barely ever used it because it's, I don't know, it's glittery, it's just a unique paper, and it doesn't go with just anything. So I'm just so happy to be playing with this ribbon. So I'm just going to trim off the excess and create my little air bow. So 2 ears, one across the other to make my little bow. I did it close to the edge because I know I'm going to trim that off. And then this ribbon is a little bit tricky because it's got that metallic in it. And I just love this trick. I know I show it all the time, but putting my little pencils in there gives me extra control over the shape of my ears, my bow ears. So I can make it nice and small and then just sort of pull out the ribbon to make those ears as long as I want them to. And I can pull it up and shape that bow so it's just the perfect cute little bow. I love my cute little air bows. Snip off the ends. And then all I need to do is stamp my sentiment and get this in place. Now, I might have to trim off the tiniest bit at the bottom because it looks like it's a little bit longer, but I can do that off camera. So, and then I'm going to stamp this sentiment. You don't need to see me do that. Attach this little bow with a glue dot. So let me show you this other one because I wanted to show you when you have like a tiny little itty bitty piece of ribbon like this, sometimes you can still use it. And I will hold on to those kind of little itty bitty pieces of ribbon for exactly that reason, because when I was making one of these, I was making a couple, I realized that with the narrower focal element here, that I was going to see less of my ribbon on the side, like it would be covered. So I did this. I split my little piece in two and just wrapped a little bit around here with, put it on a glue dot, and then had this little tiny piece at the edge. So I was able to use that, even though it was a very small piece. And now I can just go ahead and attach. It's like you're seeing double here because I'm doing the same basic thing. And then again, attach my sentiment, which by magic has been stamped. And just because it would make me feel good, I'm going to attach this. The satisfaction of completion. So there's my second card. Okay, so now you guys can see the one on the right is a little bit wider, the designer paper. The one on the left, you should see more of the Seaside Spray on either side, but I don't know. I think this one is just pretty much good enough, right? Don't really need to waste all that paper and do it wide. So anyway, that's my little 2 cents. Now, more to show. I've got an inside piece that I stamped with some of those cute little elements in the stamp set. And if I haven't buried the set, it's somewhere in here. This is what I do. I throw things to the side and they get buried. So for this inside piece, I used those two little itty bitty images right there, the little flower, and this tiny itty bitty little leaf. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. Got to show you up close. So the outside is, for the flower is Misty Moonlight, the inside is Seaside Spray, and then I just did some in each corner. And I actually used this shape here to fill in the little itty bitty leaves because there wasn't an actual shape that filled it in. So some of it is, not on the leaf, but, I think it looks okay. It works. So let's put one on the inside just for fun to see what that looks like. I tried this other option. I didn't like it. Can you see? So this is the one that I thought looked better. Maybe I didn't give you guys enough chance to look at that. Oh well. What's done is done. All right, so there's that. Now, this designer paper is gorgeous. So I'm going to just do a quick little on other options kind of thing. So this is one of the other papers. So pretty. Can you just see it with the sentiment and the ribbon? So pretty. There's another one. Second one. Okay, so I got like all these cards lined up. So same sentiment I think would work fine. This is the back side of one of those other ones. Again, super pretty. Some of them are pretty plain, so they don't really lend themselves to it. But for those that are, showy enough, I think they make for another nice alternative to this. Oh no, and I just also realized this is actually a different paper from this one. I don't know if you can tell. The flowers are bigger here. You see the stems, whereas this one, they're closer together. Similar paper, but not quite. Okay? Yes. So you agree, Lauralee. They look similar, right? So it's not really worth that waste of paper. Okay, so here's the other thing. There's this gorgeous paper in this set of papers that has this row of the flowers, and then the whole top part is pretty much this color, right? So you kind of mostly don't use that unless you do the long way. But I thought this one needed to be a wider piece because otherwise I think you cut off too much of the sky. But again, so now I'm orienting it this way. Basic, same layout. Haven't figured out where the ribbon's going to go. Probably a little itty bitty sentiment up here and good to go. I'm not even sure it needs ribbon, to be honest. But so this paper is just so much fun to play with, right? Can you see all of those fun possibilities? And it's just the simplest little card ever. So, whew. Anyway, as far as my design is concerned, I knew I needed to work with this designer series paper. Again, the designer paper really carries it. I came in with my various colors that were in here to see what looked the best behind the designer paper, and I chose that Misty Moonlight and the Seaside Spray. And then again, I wanted this sort of demure kind of sentiment. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I didn't mention this when I was putting it together, but on this one, when you're putting your sentiment on there, it's not stamped, of course, but I put glue dots just on the top in the back, and in the bottom, because you want to straddle that ribbon, and the ribbon has a little bit of height. So it's best to kind of not have the glue dots on the ribbon. And I did 2 thicknesses of glue dots so that it would be the tiniest bit above the ribbon and not like bowing around the ribbon. So it would press down on the top and bottom. Little nuance, but something worth mentioning. So there's my other one that's the same. All right. So let's bring that other one back in, all these gorgeous papers. And there's my projects for the day. Voila. Now I just got to remind myself what's next. What else do I need to cover for today? So I already talked about the design, Gloria's design, and how I changed things up and the choices I made on this project. Now I do think I just want to mention the designer paper is gorgeous, but the added bling of that ribbon I think just adds so much to it. The ribbon that goes with this paper is a purple. It's the Gorgeous Grape. It's a sheer ribbon, but anyway, this one just seemed so perfect to me. All right, I am going to turn the camera around and finish up and let you guys be off on your evening. See, there we go. Here I am. Look all disheveled, right? It's so busy. It's like my workspace, disheveled, everything everywhere. All right. All right, so if you see that little bell on the top corner of your video screen and you want to be notified when I go live, please fill in the bell, click on it, and hopefully it will work. Seems like it's working for some people, maybe not for everybody, but it doesn't hurt to do it if you want to stay tuned with when I go live. What else? Check out that butterfly bouquet suite that's coming. If you're at all interested in the stamp camp that's going to be available to register for next week, you may want to wait to buy the bundle, because I will have an add-on option for the bundle to go with the class. And in the class, you're going to get all the designer paper and some twine to use, and anyway, a bunch of fun things included in the kit, in the price of the kit. Let's see what else. So yeah, don't forget to share and tag people to be entered in the drawing for the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle that I'm giving away. I'm giving away 3 of the tutorial bundle, 12 tutorials in that, using the Hydrangea Hill product suite. And I will announce that winner at the beginning of next week on my Facebook page. And I'll also, of course, announce it here. So you guys all know, probably in my newsletter too. And I think that might be it. Let me know if you have questions. I try to watch the comments, but I know I miss so much, so I will definitely be looking back at them. Thank you for sharing, Trudy. Now I'm looking at the screen so I can actually see what people are saying. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the projects today and you're inspired to go create. Keep in mind that even though this Hydrangea Hill designer paper is absolutely stunning, there's all kinds of other papers you could replace out very easily and do a very similar design to this last one that I did, and just have a gorgeous, simple card. So I pretty much this afternoon, I think I have now 8 cards that I managed to create just with all the different designer papers and those simple layouts. Oh, you're very welcome for the inspiration, Linda. You're welcome, Elizabeth. Thanks for being here and joining me. So much fun. Thank you, Deborah. So, yay. Yay. I'm so glad you loved the card, Charlotte. Wonderful. You're welcome, Laura Lee. So good to have you guys here. Thanks for the heart, somebody. And the other one, yay. I still haven't figured out how to do those hearts when I'm on a Facebook Live. Somebody needs to teach me one day. You love doing the focal pieces ahead of time. Okay, cool. Love the papers, beautiful cards. Yay. Thank you, Christy. Oh, thank you, Nancy. She says your cards are always nice. Wonderful. Hi, Kathy. Good to have you here. Hey, so good to have you from Canada. I love that. All right, well, I should let you go. It's so fun to read your comments. I could stay here all day long. Hi, Fran. Yay. Hi, Mary Beth. All right, you guys, have a wonderful evening. Happy Thursday. Happy weekend. We'll see you next week for the next Facebook Live on, it should be the 11th if I'm doing my numbers right. Oh, I forgot to mention, my 18-year anniversary with Stampin' Up! Is coming up. So I have some fun things in the brew that will start next Wednesday with next week's Facebook Live. Make sure to share and tell people to come join in. I'm going to have prizes, and it may not just be for next week. I think I might be doing it for 2 weeks. So some special things coming up for that. So I'm excited. 18 years. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I've been a demonstrator for 18 years. Worthy of celebrating and sharing gifts and fun. So see you next week. Bye.